Massive attack on the Russian convoy. Russian soldier caught by kamikaze drone. The Russian soldier who took a chance to surrender. Attack on Russian rocket launcher system. Trench raids. Destroyed vehicles. Fields full of mines. Destroyed tanks. Stay tuned for more. June 28, 2025. Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drone detects a Russian soldier in open terrain. The drone targets the Russian soldier. The Russian soldier repeatedly tries to escape from the drone and struggles to get away. Despite all this struggle, the Russian soldier cannot get rid of the drone. He is shot by the drone as soon as he falls to the ground. June 24th, the Ukrainian 53rd Mechanized Brigade Air Reconnaissance Unit detected a Russian Grad 1 MLRS shelling Ukrainian positions southwest of the village of Zhatilivka, Luhansk region. A fiber optic FPV drone was then launched. A bomb-laden FPV drone flew towards a Russian rocket launcher vehicle. The ammunition compartment of the Russian vehicle was targeted. A huge explosion occurred when the vehicle and its ammunition were destroyed. Only one Russian soldier survived the attack. The Russian soldier managed to escape when he saw the drone coming. June 24th, 2025. The Ukrainian 3rd Assault Brigade attacked a Russian trench near the village of Andriivka. During the operation, a team of 4 Ukrainian soldiers approached an underground bunker and opened fire with automatic weapons. Russian soldiers inside returned fire and a close-range firefight ensued. Ukrainian soldiers then threw grenades into the bunker, successfully neutralizing the Russian soldiers inside. June 23rd, 2025. The 414th UAV Brigade in the Pokrovsk region fell in pursuit of Russian motorcycles. Russian soldiers were shot down by an FPV drone while trying to escape on a motorcycle. June 25th, 2025. Russian forces passed the movement towards Ukrainian defensive positions with a large assault group, but they did not know that the terrain they were in was full of mine traps. Tank at the front of the Russian convoy hit a mine and exploded. An explosion so violent that the soldiers inside didn't survive. Other Russian armored vehicles panicked but decided to continue. But this is a trap where Ukrainian forces have planted hundreds of mines. It started to explode all the mines one after the other. One by one, the Russian T-80 and T-90 tanks hit mines and were destroyed. While one armored vehicle from the Russian attack group managed to turn back and escape, the other 4 armored vehicles were completely destroyed in the middle of the minefield. After the mines, the Ukrainian 5th Assault Brigade destroyed everything else with artillery fire. Spotted by Ukraine's 144th Assault Unit, a Russian soldier decides to surrender for his life. But this request is not so easy. At first, Ukrainian forces refuse to take the Russian soldier in, but the Russian soldier continues to beg for his life. To show that he is harmless, he puts himself out in the open. When the Ukrainian FPV drone didn't harm him, the Russian soldier realized he was meant to follow it. Wounded and exhausted, he trailed the drone for quite some time. Like many Russian soldiers on the battlefield, he was struggling to survive without supplies. No food, no ammunition, and no support. After the Russian soldiers' long and exhausting march, Ukrainian special forces arrived in a Humvee armored vehicle. They handcuffed him on the roadside, secured him inside the vehicle, and took him into custody. June 23rd, 2025. Russian forces launched an assault on Ukrainian trenches using 2 tanks and 2 infantry fighting vehicles. However, the offensive operation turned into a major defeat. The Ukrainian 3rd Assault Brigade responded with precise and concentrated artillery fire, turning the tide of the battle. A shell hits a Russian tank as it fires at the trenches. Now, Russian armored vehicles have become target practice for Ukrainian artillery. Mortar shells and howitzer shells rained down rapidly, hitting the vehicles with deadly precision. The attack was so intense that the armored units had no chance of retreat. Meanwhile, Russian soldiers who had abandoned the burning vehicles began to flee, desperately trying to take refuge in the nearby forest. But FPV drones began to attack the Russian soldiers. The remaining Russian vehicles were also attacked by the HIMARS from the Ukrainian side. The multiple rocket launcher system completely neutralized the Russian convoy. The last blow to the neutralized vehicles was dealt by bombs dropped from unmanned aerial vehicles. In this operation, in which all vehicles were destroyed, 20 Russian soldiers lost their lives. June 24, 2025, Ukrainian National Guard units spotted 4 Russian soldiers near the village of Spirna, Donetsk region. While the Russian soldiers continued on their way, unaware of everything, 2 soldiers were seriously wounded, with the ammunition fired by the Ukrainian FPV drone. Other soldiers who tried to escape were also targeted by FPV drones. The other soldier who managed to escape and hid in the forest was detected with the help of thermal imaging. He could not escape being the target of the bomb dropped from the drone. June 28th, in a daring operation near the Udakny settlement in the Donetsk region of Ukraine, Special Operations Forces operators launched a precision, multi-layered assault on a Russian assault group that had infiltrated Ukrainian lines and disrupted the rotation of a nearby unit. The operation began with a series of kamikaze drone strikes, targeting a snowplow used as a cover by Russian troops. After one FPV drone attack after another, the Russian soldiers inside started to come out. Panic-stricken Russian soldiers did not know what to do and then decided to flee quickly. 6 Russian soldiers got out of the vehicle and quickly drove away. They all started looking for a place to hide. All the Russian soldiers were seen to be fully equipped. Some went into the nearest ruins, while others sought other hiding places. The operation starts now. Russian troops suffer first casualties as Ukrainian forces launch FPV drone attack. Now it is all fear and chaos. Soldiers continue to flee, leaving the shot soldier behind. FPV drones are launched after each Russian soldier. One of the Russian soldiers trying to hide is also caught by the drone. A Russian soldier enters a ruined building and is shot down by a kamikaze drone. Each Russian soldier is hiding in different places. But there is no escape from here. They are all targets now. Another Russian soldier hides under the rubble, but he too does not survive. Other Russian soldiers, unable to find a place to hide, are shot down one by one by the FPV drone. Ukrainian forces managed to completely repel Russian troops with about 15 drones. June 25th, Ukrainian reconnaissance drones spotted a group of Russian soldiers and began pursuing them. The Russian soldiers were seen entering an underground shelter. Ukraine immediately sent a high-explosive FPV kamikaze drone. The drone exploded after entering the shelter built in the forest. The explosion was so large that the shelter was reduced to rubble. Deep within the forest, Ukrainian forces discovered a well-organized Russian bunker. It appeared to be extensively prepared. Stockpiles of firewood bags and even specially arranged grass at the entrance hinted at long-term use. Moments later, an FPV drone approached the bunker's entrance and detonated itself, delivering a direct strike. June 20th, 2025. Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones circled above Russian trenches, locking onto their targets. One Russian soldier spotted the incoming drone and attempted to flee, but he couldn't outrun it. June 22nd, 2025. A Russian T-72 tank was detected by Ukrainian reconnaissance units while advancing in the Zaporizhzhia region, southeast of the village of Novoprokopivka. An FPV kamikaze drone was launched and struck the tank. The first impact proved decisive. the tank was completely destroyed. Ukrainian forces continue to target Russian logistics routes. Makeshift drone barriers placed along the roads are proving ineffective against Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones. One such drone locked onto a Russian T-72 tank. Moments later, the tank was struck and destroyed in a massive explosion. Ukrainian forces continue to intensify drone warfare by launching targeted bomb strikes on Russian trench networks, using both FPV kamikaze drones and drone-dropped explosives. These unmanned aerial systems are being deployed daily to seek out and eliminate enemy positions, defensive bunkers, and frontline firing points.